In November 2019, security outside the Prime Minister's official residence was exceptionally tight. At midnight, a car enters the compound. Stepping out of the vehicle is the RAW chief, Samant Goel. In his hands is a thick file with the word "confidential" written in red letters. After about 15 minutes of waiting, the door to the room opens. Prime Minister Narendra Modi appears and asks why it was necessary to come so late at night. Samant Goel replies, "Sir, we have found Hafiz Saeed." Hafiz Saeed was considered the mastermind behind the November 26 Mumbai attacks, in which many innocent people lost their lives. Upon hearing Saeed's name, the Prime Minister immediately calls for a meeting. That same night, a cabinet committee on security is held. Seated at the table are Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Home Minister, the External Affairs Minister, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, and RAW Chief Samant Goel. Goel opens the file and presents photographs, voice samples, and intelligence reports on Hafiz Saeed. He explains that the time for asking the United Nations for help or pressuring Pakistan through the United States had already passed. Now, India would have to act alone. When the word operation is mentioned, the Prime Minister asks what exactly that means. Goel responds clearly. Hafiz Saeed will be eliminated on Pakistani soil in front of his ISI protectors. Ajit Doval thinks for a moment and says that there may not be a better opportunity to eliminate Saeed. He looks at the Prime Minister and nods slightly in agreement. Silence fills the room. A few seconds later, Modi authorizes the operation to move forward. At that moment, for the first time since the 26/11 attacks, an unfinished promise begins to take shape. That promise was named Operation Alvida. RAW had only one solid piece of information, the location of Hafiz Saeed, but that was also the greatest challenge. Eliminating him on Pakistani territory would not be easy. He lived in Johar Town, Lahore, an upscale area with extremely strict security. Pakistani police present 24 hours a day, surveillance cameras, controlled movement. Getting close to his house was almost impossible. A direct attack could trigger an international crisis. So RAW decided to create a secret base very close to Saeed's house, a safe, discreet location capable of monitoring all his movements. In December 2019, in Dubai, a Pakistani citizen named Naveed had been in prison for 6 months for a minor theft. Suddenly, he receives bail. The bail was paid by a man named Vasif. After leaving prison, Naveed asks why he helped him. Vasif replies that he needs a trustworthy partner for business between Dubai and Pakistan. Shortly afterwards, Vasif hands him 5 million Pakistani rupees. Months later, Naveed returns to Pakistan. This is when RAW's plan begins to take shape. Vasif calls Naveed with a clear instruction: rent a house in Johar Town, Lahore. Naveed rented house 120. This house was extremely close to Hafiz Saeed's residence, close enough to monitor all activities. What Naveed did not know was that Vasif was actually a RAW agent. The base that RAW had been searching for months now existed inside Naveed's house. During the next 6 months, RAW agents began visiting the house at different times. They carefully monitored who entered and left Saeed's house, movement schedules, security routines. Every detail was recorded minute by minute and sent to New Delhi. When the plan was almost ready, Vasif calls Naveed to Dubai and asks him a question. "Don't you think it's wrong that Pakistan protects terrorists?" Naveed coldly replies that it doesn't matter because they attack India's enemies. Then Vasif reveals something shocking. He works for a Jewish man who lost his entire family in the 2008 Mumbai attacks, and that man wants revenge against Hafiz Saeed. After intense pressure, Naveed agrees to help. Soon afterwards, 15 crore rupees, about 150 million rupees, are transferred to his account. Now there was no turning back. Raw decided on the method of attack, a car bomb. Agents purchased a black Toyota Corolla and placed 300 kilograms of RDX inside the car. The car was parked in a building under construction nearby. To drive the vehicle to the target, they bring a poor man from Afghanistan willing to die for exchange for money for his family. May 13, 2021. Agent Vasif, a key figure in the operation, becomes severely ill with COVID-19 in New Delhi and dies. Without him, the operation almost collapses. At the same time, it is discovered that Naveed had been secretly informing Pakistani intelligence, ISI. RAW quickly evacuates all agents from the house in Johar Town. Even so, the Indian government decides to continue the operation. June 2021, Lahore. The young Afghan man drives the Corolla filled with RDX towards Hafiz Saeed's house. Before reaching the target, there is a police checkpoint. The officers attempt to stop the car. At that moment, the vehicle crashes into the barricade and explodes. The explosion shakes the entire Johar Town neighborhood. The iron gate and the entrance of Hafiz Saeed's house are destroyed. Hearing the blast, Hafiz Saeed panics and hides under a sofa inside his house. He survives the attack. Although Operation Alvida failed to eliminate Saeed, one message became clear to terrorists in Pakistan. Borders no longer guarantee safety. The new India doesn't only make threats, it can strike the enemy inside his own home.